Hey guys, look who's up. You up, Mage? Just woke up from his nap. I was wanting to come talk to you guys. I know it's been a while. Um but yeah, I just wanted to check in, see how you guys are doing, and I've been doing this thing for a few days now, literally, where before I go to bed, I just look through random pages or whatever, just searching for like quotes and posts of different things that are motivational. And I've been sending them to my mom because when I go to bed, she's getting up for work, so it kind of just works that way. But yeah, so where you going? Where you going, Mage? Yeah. But yeah, so one of the ones that I sent her, if I'm quoting it right, was um basically some people don't want to see your anointing because it aggravates their demons. So, in order, basically, to sum it up, in my understanding is that, some people don't like to see you prosper because it aggravates them, because they're not really happy for you, or they really don't want to see you prosper or win in life and be happy. But that's not for them to decide, so yes, we're all going to run into people like that at some point, and you may not ever run into them, but they'll be out there just praying for you not to make it, not to get whatever it is that you're trying to work hard to get, and whatever goal you're trying to obtain or reach. And that's just life. But it's up to us as individuals to keep on doing right and doing what we need to do. Hold on, guys. Okay, guys, I'm back. Mommy duties. But yeah, so what I was trying to say was that, there's always going to be people in life that are just behind your back, talking about you, slandering you, putting you down, has nothing good to say about you. They just don't want to see you win in life, or they're just angry because you're winning, or because you're prospering, or because you're getting something that they don't understand how you're getting it, whatever it may be. And the problem is they're never going to understand it because they're too busy trying to see you fail and trying to understand why you're getting what you're getting. But that's the thing. Nobody can understand the blessings that God has for you. Everybody's blessings from God are going to be different. What I may receive is not what you're going to receive, and what you're going to receive may not be what I ever receive. And that's okay, because we're in two different walks, two different journeys. We are two different people. Our lives are different. Although things can mimic and and mirror the same, when you meet another person or when you see other people, you may have similarities, you may have similar things that you have gone through, that you can relate on, but ultimately everybody's life is always going to be different somehow. There's not going to be any one thing that is exactly the same from person to person. And I think when we realize that, and when we, remember that, then people will stop being negative or wish bad things on other people, or spend so much time trying to understand why people have what they have. And a lot of the times, honestly, guys, if you're true with yourself, it's because they worked for it. God blesses those who work and who do the things that they have to do to get it. What does it say? Without what is it? Faith without works is dead. Yes, you have to have faith that God is going to provide and God is going to do these things for you. But God also wants to see your commitment and your level of readiness to work to get the things that you want Him to bless you with. If you are saying that, you want a promotion, or you want to get recognized in your job, but you're not doing anything to stand out, if you're not putting in extra work, if you're not trying to do things to maybe get yourself noticed, obviously in a positive way and in a professional way, then and then your next coworker gets that promotion or gets that raise that you were trying to get. Hey guys, so yeah, my mom was actually calling me, so but where was I at? Where did I leave off? Oh, so yeah, so I was just basically saying, what you see another person get, if you say, oh yeah, that's what I was saying. If you have a job, and you want a raise and you want a promotion, but you're not putting in the work to get those things, the things that you need to do, if they provide a list and say, this is what you need to do to get to the next step, to get to the next level, to get that raise, to get that promotion, and there's five things on that list and you've only done two, and the other person does the work to do the five, then they're going to get it and you're not. Yes, nobody can stop your blessings, but God also wants you to do your part. So when you see people with things, don't assume that it was just given to them. Don't just assume that they did nothing for it. A lot of the times, yes, there are times where people may seem like they're just getting things, and that may be the case. you know but ultimately, everybody has done something, whether it's right or wrong, and hopefully, you're going about it the right way, because it doesn't make sense to do things the wrong way if it's going to jeopardize your life or your finances or whatever the case may be. I always believe, even if it seems a little harder or even if it seems like it takes a little longer, it's better to just do things the right way and get it the right way. That way, when you do achieve it, or whenever you do get whatever it is that you're looking for, you can feel good about it. You don't have to feel as though you went about it the wrong way, or that it's going to be taken away from you. But yeah, guys, ultimately, my main point for my message is that, in life, there are always going to be people out there who, just for whatever reason, and usually it's something within themselves that they haven't dealt with yet, where they just don't, they're not happy with themselves. So because they're not happy with themselves, they cannot be happy for you. But you cannot let them stop you from doing the things that that you're capable of, and for reaching the goals that you want to reach. It's always easy to try to use those things as even reasons for yourself as to why you're not moving forward, why you don't want to do something, and let them bring you down. But don't do that. Don't do that, because then they're just winning, and that's not what you want to do. You want to, keep your head up. And I'm talking to myself too, because, there are times where I have goals, I have things that I want to do, and, I stop myself, or I see something and it's it's what I already maybe am accustomed to. For instance, eating healthy, or working out. I know I can do it, and I've done it before. But a lot of the times, I may start doing good, but then I, fall short one day or something like that, and then it always happens. You see a video or something, and somebody's like, "Love yourself," da 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 da, and you can spin that around however you want to. You can make that be like, oh well, you know what, yeah, I just love myself regardless of what I eat, or regardless of what I'm doing. If I don't work out as much, I still have to love myself. And yes, that may be true. You should love yourself regardless, but you shouldn't be your own crutch either. You know what I mean? Sometimes you're going to have to push yourself. Sometimes you're going to have to do the things that are uncomfortable, and get out of your comfort zone. And eventually it will become easier and easier, to the point where it doesn't seem like you're having to put in so much effort and so much work into it. It's just going to become naturally to you. But, you just have to stay focused in life, and, people are going to say what they want to say, and it might not always be what you want to hear, and it might not always be in your favor, but you can't focus on that. You have to stay focused on the goals that you have. You have to stay focused on why you're being blessed, and know why you're being blessed, and, keep doing things the way that you know that it should be done, because ultimately, when you put in the work, and when you have dedication and commitment, and you keep doing what you need to do, you will get what you want. It may not be when you think you want it, but God ultimately is going to give you what you need when you need it. So, just because something may be taking a long time, don't think that God doesn't hear you, he doesn't see you. But maybe right now, in this time, it's not for you. It's not for you right now. Maybe you're not ready for it. Maybe, it's just whatever the reason may be, it's not going to be good for you in that moment. Maybe you want it in 2 months, but it's really meant for you within a year, 2 years. So you can't rush things. Sometimes the process may seem long, and it may seem like you're never going to get there, but when you do get there, and when it's time for you to actually get it, then you will be able to fully enjoy whatever it may be that you're trying to get. But yeah, guys, I don't want to ramble on too long, but I just, I want to stop in with you guys every now and again, and let me know how you feel about these type of things. I just, when I see a lot of inspirational quotes and I see things, and I like to share them, and I like to look at them for myself, just for my own inspiration and to stay positive, and keep on track. And even when I fall off, because when you fall off, it doesn't mean you can't get back up and just keep trying and keep doing whatever you have to do. And maybe, you may be at work or whatever, get a negative counselor or a negative comment or whatever the case may be. But don't let negative people make you negative, because then, if we have a world full of negative people, what would this world become? We need positivity. We need to find ways to keep positive and stay inspirational, because whatever situations you may be going through, and yes, this may sound cliche, but somebody else has it somewhat harder than you. So instead of trying to focus on all the negative all the time, try to see how many positives you have. And a lot of the times, once you start to realize that things aren't as bad as you may think that they are. Um, and not just big things, little things, even if it's the mere fact that you have clothes to wear, clean clothes. I mean, whatever it may be, it doesn't always have to be something big that you have to be thankful for or show gratitude for. It can be the little things that you should be able to appreciate, just to uplift yourself, and to know that there's something to keep pushing for and fighting for. So ultimately, just stay encouraged, stay positive, keep working towards whatever goals you have. Don't worry about what people are going to say about you, what they're going to talk about you, because they have their own demons that they have to fight. And when people who focus on other people, especially in a negative way, it's usually just masking their own issues and their own problems, and their own self-esteems that they need to work through. I've learned in life that a lot of the times when people have an issue with you, it's really not about you, it's about themselves. They have issues with themselves. But it's easier to attack somebody else instead of dealing with your own issues and tackling them head on. It's always easy to point out somebody else or try to blame somebody else, or in this put them in the spotlight negatively to get the attention drawn off of you. But never do that, because what you do to other people will come back around, and the negativity that you spread and the negative energy that you put out there, God sees that. And why shine somebody else's light, or why dim somebody else's light just to think you're gonna make yourself shine, because it doesn't work like that. And yeah, guys, what they say, what's done in the dark will come to light. So you may think you're on top and shining, but if you're doing it the wrong way, and if God gets no praise for it or no glory for it, then you won't either. Whether you may think you are, but you're not. But yeah, guys, just stay encouraged. I will stop in, and I'm gonna keep this up. I gotta figure out a name for this. What I want to call it. If you guys have any suggestions, tell me. Maybe it'll just be inspirational, daily inspirational messages with your girl. But yeah, guys, I just wanted to stop in. I saw that quote and it really registered with me, and I thought I would share with you guys. Hopefully I can help somebody else. Somebody else will see this message and, change how they're thinking. It maybe even look within yourself and see, am I hating on somebody? Am I talking bad about somebody and what's my reason? What is your reason? Honestly, sometimes think about it. You talking about somebody else and you bragging on somebody else or bringing somebody else down or spending so much energy talking about a person. What are you getting out of it? What are you getting out of it? Especially when that person is still living their life. They're still winning. They're still getting the things that God has for them, because you can't stop that. You can't stop that. Nothing you do can stop somebody else's blessings. What God has for everyone is for everyone individually. So you may think you can do and try all these things to bring somebody down, but you ultimately cannot. You cannot. And you're just adding to your own hurt, and you're just adding to your own list of things that you're going to have to deal with and answer to the Lord for. So really think about that. When the next time you go to talk about somebody, or the next time you go to slander somebody, or drag them through the mud, or whatever the case may be, when you're about to put out that energy to somebody about somebody else, think about it. Stop and think, what am I getting out of this? What truly is going to come of this in a positive way for me? Is this really going to do something for me? And if I have to win on bringing somebody else down, then do I really want to win that way? Is that really how you want to be seen? Because ultimately, the way you present yourself and the way you talk about other people is a representation of you, because that person is not there to defend themselves. So if all you're doing is talking about everybody else, or whoever, whatever the situation be, if you're at work, whatever, if all you're doing is talking about that person, and that person is not studying you, then what are you getting from that? If I'm a stranger and I meet you, and it's like when you start a new job, and you always got that one employee, they start coming to you and talking about somebody else. Honestly, they're trying to get to you first to make you probably hate or not like the person that they have an issue with. But really and truly, at least for me, all you're doing is showing me who you are. I don't know that person, and I'm the type of person, I'm going to give everybody a fair chance before I make a judgment on somebody, because the experience you have with them, I may not have with them, and you may just be a negative person and spread negativity about everybody. You're probably going to start talking about me. So, that's the thing. When you do that, a lot of the times what you think you're trying to get across, which is, getting to me first so that I don't like this person, or whatever the case may be, that's not usually what happens. Because now I know, I just met you, I just started this job, as example, and now you're coming to me and telling me all this stuff. You don't know me, I don't know you, so this is my first representation of you, is that you're a trouble starter, or you just want to spread negativity about somebody. So yeah, think about that. It doesn't make the other person look as crazy as it makes you look, because you're the person who is sharing whatever information, talking about whatever the information may be. So just remember that, guys. I mean, we have enough issues in this world. We have enough problems going on, enough things to deal with. The last thing we need is to waste our energy and time, one, worrying about what other people have to think about us, or what other people have to say about us. Because as my mom always told me, what people have to say about you is none of your business. And I never really understood that growing up for a while. She would always say that, and I'd be like, what do you mean? If they're talking about me, it is my business because it's about me. But no, she's right, because what people think about you is none of your business, because everybody has opinions and they're entitled to it. Some people are always going to focus on the negative, and some people are going to be more positive, but ultimately it's their opinion. And if you know that it's not true about you, it's easier said than done. But if you know that somebody is saying something about you, and you wholeheartedly know that's not true about yourself, then just keep being you and keep living your truth and showing your actions. Because ultimately, all the things they're saying about you, if that is never seen from you, and if you know that's not you, then you'll win at the end of the day, because people are going to start to realize that that person's just crazy. Because if they start hanging around you, or if they see that all the stuff that a person's saying about you never seems to be their experience when they are around you, or they never hear that from anybody else, then ultimately it's going to always, that person is going to, like I said, come back around to that person. What they mean for you, and when it's bad, they're the ones that's going to lose in the end. So don't lose yourself, don't lose your truth, stay true to who you are. Even though it's hard, even though sometimes the flesh wants to win, but don't let try. I've had to do that a lot of the times. You have to sometimes pray for that person. When you hear people being negative, when you hear people ready to, basically they're burying you with their words, you know what I'm saying. Remember that you ultimately are responsible for your actions and for who you are. Don't ever let somebody get you out of your own character and change you as a person. when you know that's not who you are. Like I said, it's not always, it's easier said than done, but you have to start somewhere. And I learned that the more you practice it, and the more you remove yourself from negativity and from drama, the easier it becomes. The easier and easier it becomes to separate yourself from it, to ignore it, to not let it affect you in the way that it may have affected you in the beginning. But that goes like, that's life. That goes with everything. Working out, when in the beginning, if you don't work out, if you're not a person who ever works out, of course, in the beginning, it's going to hurt. It's going to be hard. You're going to want to give up. You're not going to want to keep trying. You know, you're going to want to revert back to what's comfortable and what's easy, which is what you were doing before. But you have to remember that you have to keep pushing through, and the more you do it, like I said earlier, the easier and the easier it'll become. Nobody's saying you may not ever love truly working out, but once you start getting those goals and you start to accomplish what you set out to do, and you get that body you're looking for, you get to that number you're looking to get to, down to, or whatever it may be, whatever you're trying to obtain in your physical goals, then it's not going to be such a struggle after a while. In the beginning, it may have taken you an hour to run 4 miles, but with the more, every time you keep practicing, eventually you may cut that hour in half, or keep cutting your time, because you're working at it and you're getting better and better and better. So that just is an example, but that goes to everything. So in the beginning, it may be hard to walk away from hearing somebody say something about you. It may be hard to not respond or want to come back with some type of dig or something like that. Yes, it's going to be hard, but the more you practice it, the easier it becomes, because you realize that you don't have time for that. Your energy needs to be spent doing something productive and bettering yourself, so that you don't have to deal with the negative energy, because ultimately it's not good for anybody. Nobody should have to deal with it, and it's not going to add to your life. And that's what I'm learning as I get older. If it doesn't add to my life, I don't need it in my life. And if it's not going to better me as a person and make me grow, then I don't need it. And the same way, you know, everybody's entitled to their pains. Everybody's entitled to live their life how they want to live it. And I always say we can only control our lives, and we can only control to an extent, because ultimately God has all the control. But we can only do our part for ourselves individually, and we are the only ones who can shelter ourselves and from whatever we don't want. So, and guard ourselves. And you have to guard your heart, guard your spirit, guard your soul. This body, this temple that the Lord has provided us with, to live our life in. We have to guard it. And if negativity is around you, you don't have to deal with it. You don't have to receive it. You don't have to accept it. A lot of the times I think we feel obligated to defending ourselves, but ultimately we know ourselves. We know our truth. So I don't need to defend myself against your negativity, because ultimately me defending myself to you is just wasting, one, time out of my day and out of my life. And secondly, no matter how much you say what you have to say, you can never ultimately change how a person is going to feel. So, pick your battles. That's probably the best thing I could say. Pick your battles, and know when and when not to really spend your energy defending things. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, ultimately, if that's not you, then you're going to win regardless of what somebody else tries to say. There's plenty of people out here in this world who people have slandered them to the ground, and they're still winning, and those people cannot figure it out. They're still trying to find out ways to stop that person's blessings, but you can't do that. Nobody can do that. You cannot stop another person's blessings. What is for somebody is for somebody, and how they obtain it is, how they obtain it. But no matter how much you try to block it, if it's supposed to happen for them, if it's supposed to be, what their life is going to be, then it's going to happen. It's going to happen. But yeah, guys, I don't want to make this too long. But yeah, I just want to stop in, share this, motivation with you, share this inspirational quote that I saw with you guys. And I hope that I reach somebody, I touch somebody, and let me know what you guys do to keep yourself inspired, positive, in a good mindset, in a clear headspace. How you, fight against things, or push to, reach your goals. What you do to motivate you guys. But yeah, guys, I will check in with you guys later. I need to go put my son down. He just woke up, he ate, and now he's asleep again. So hopefully he'll take a little bit of a longer nap this time. But yeah, guys, I just want to check with you. Be sure to comment on this and talk to me. Let me know what you think about my message today. And I hope I help somebody. Be sure to hit that like button if you like this video, and subscribe and hit that notification bell for more updates. See you guys later. Bye.